We cannot price the middle class or folks who are willing to work hard to get into the middle class out of a college education. We can't keep saddling young people with more and more and more debt just as they're starting out in life.
So as college has become more cost prohibitive for some families, universities are being forced to come up with new ways to get students to enroll. According to a study by the National Association of College and University Business Officers, schools are offering record amounts of financial assistance to incoming freshmen. Other universities are freezing tuition and cutting costs to make their programs more attractive. This spring, Purdue University announced that it would freeze tuition at its flagship campus. Mitch is the president of Purdue and the former Republican governor of Indiana. He's in Washington to receive the Bradley Prize for outstanding achievement. Congratulations on that.
Thank you,
sir.
John.
So I get to call you governor and president.
Mitchell did.
Yeah, we'll stick with this issue of college. You know, we're having this political fight over the cost of student loans and the interest rate there. But the root cause has been this incredible, I would say, irresponsible increase in the cost of education over the last 20 years. Is there any defense? You're just there, so you don't have to own the problems of the last 20 years just at Purdue. Is there any defense over this from the university community?
I think it was only human for people to do what they did, but no, I think the outcome's indefensible. And we at Purdue decided, you know, we're getting off, first of all, the sticker price treadmill. Mm-hmm. There was an assumption, apparently correct for a while, that the more you charge, the more value people would assume was in the product, which is not the case.
Right.
You know, student loans,
because it was so easy to people. My theory has always been it was too easy to get loans, too easy to make a parent go get a second mortgage. Well, I can just go get a second mortgage.
Absolutely. With the best of intentions, we've subsidized, poured loans and grants into higher eds. The universities did the human thing. They pocketed the money. Students and their families were no better off. So I think something very different is coming, and universities, and we intend to lead this at Purdue, will need to deliver an excellent education at a very affordable price, prove that students learned and grew while they were there, and we think that's the future, not a continuation of where we've been.
By the time you leave Purdue, do you think you will have a majority of students that graduate in less than 4 years? That basically that universities become, the idea of the 4 years is an obsolete number out there.
I really think that's a great goal to have. 4 years is not the rule, for instance, in Europe and other places. If we used our facilities more in the summer, as we are working hard to do, it would make at least possible for students to move more quickly and go to school year-round if you wanted to. Now, we're a major engineering and technology school. We've got a number of disciplines that probably do require 4 years or even a little more. But that's okay because our students get employed when they leave, they make good incomes, and they don't have trouble paying for any student loans that they might have taken. But we've got to make sure that's the case 10 years from now.
What is it that universities were using this money for? I mean, look, I look at where I went to school at GW, and they made a massive building expansion, lots of new buildings and new dorms. I was down at SMU during the Bush Library thing, and I thought, boy, they built these new dorms, but does every dorm, it almost feels like it was extravagant.
You're right.
Unnecessary money.
The terms of competition have included what people sometimes call country club amenities. Food that's so good you wouldn't recognize it if you went to school even a few years before. I
lived on ramen noodles. There's nothing wrong with that for a couple of years.
I love to go to the gym, do it all the time, you know, but these places and a lot of schools have built really very lavish facilities. That's certainly part of it. Administration has grown. It's not all the university's fault. A lot of it was required by government and so forth. But no question that it's been too easy to add these nice-to-do items and just send the bill to A, the taxpayer, B, the student's family, and that game's up.
All right, I want to ask you a pet issue of mine when it comes to university presidents, and that's the NCAA. Is there any way of making this a functioning body that football fans can feel confidence in, that the NCAA is a fair organization, but at the same time also has the students in mind first?
Yeah. Gee, I hope there's an answer to this somewhere. You know, Purdue meets 3 tests that I wish every university did. It has very high standards of conduct for all its student athletes, high standards of academic performance, our athletes have outperformed the student body, which is a smart student body, 31 semesters in a row, and we pay for ourselves. That is, there's no subsidy from the tuition dollar to the athletic program.
One of only 7 Division I schools in the country that do that.
Only 7. Now, the NCAA, and I do know these folks, even though I'm new to higher ed.
Indianapolis, yeah.
That's right. They're full of really good people. They want to do the right thing. They don't have the tools, really, to enforce many of the improvements and reforms they'd like to, I know, bring. So I think they're working on it as hard as they can. But I really think universities are going to have to police themselves and get it started that way.
Are you done with politics?
Yes.
You are.
Well, as much as you can be on a university campus.
Politics at a university, they say it's even worse than anything in any capital, right?
No, it isn't. It is.
All right. Fair enough. Mitch Daniels, it's good to see you, sir.
Always.
All right. Cool.